Welcome to Q&A with a Down syndrome researcher. This series is sponsored by the iStart Down Syndrome Professional Interest Group, the Alzheimer's Biomarker Consortium Down Syndrome, the Trial Ready Cohort Down Syndrome Study, and the T21 Research Society.
Hi, I am Danny Shavitz. I'm a part of the ABCS resource team in Wisconsin. Today I am interviewing you, Jomi, who is from the University of California. If I is a medical student, and a good resourcer, and a good person, truly a good person. Thank you for being here today. And my first question is, what is a key finding of your work and in this Alzheimer's disease and Down syndrome?
First, thank you for having me here. It's a great pleasure. I think it's very difficult to pick just one finding in the last year. There's been lots of exciting and important findings. But I think if I were to pick one very important finding, that would be the development of blood tests to be able to understand if there are Alzheimer's disease-related changes in the brain by just taking and looking at blood. And so there were some studies done comparing some of these new blood tests to brain scans where you take pictures of the brain, and they do a fairly good job at predicting when there will be Alzheimer's disease changes in the brains of people with Down syndrome.
Cool. Thank you for that. Your research sounds very interesting. My last question, but not the last question, is why is this important to people with Down syndrome and their families?
Yeah, so there are many advantages to having a blood test for knowing if there are changes related to Alzheimer's disease in the brain. One of them is that a blood test is much easier and cheaper to do compared to having pictures taken of the brain or taking fluid from the spinal cord from your back. It's something that can be done many times. It can be done early in order to try to catch these changes early on before you notice any kind of changes or symptoms of Alzheimer's disease. And ultimately, having these tests are very important in order to treat or prevent Alzheimer's disease in people with Down syndrome. I wouldn't say they replace entirely the brain scans, the brain imaging. These are things that are very important for researchers still and will be important, but having this tool is a very significant finding for the future of research and clinical care.
Yeah, these are very good questions. Thank you for taking time. And your research sounds interesting and also important.